Hey, what's up out there, guys? I hope you're all fantastic. Today, we're diving into 10 peak retro summer movies that I think defined what it felt like to be young, free, sweaty, and slightly unhinged. Whether you grew up with a surfboard, a family station wagon, or went camping during the season, these are the movies that captured summer. So let's dive into this sun-soaked reel of peak summer cinema. Meatballs from 1979 stars Bill Murray as a camp counselor who leads a gang of lovable misfits through camp chaos and friendship in this early summer camp classic that's got bug juice, endless pranks, and zero chill. Before Ghostbusters and Groundhog Day, Bill Murray showed up at Camp North Star with a whistle and zero supervision. Meatballs is the ultimate underdog summer camp comedy where the misfit campers go from dweebs to legends thanks to a rebellious counselor who's basically a walking improv sketch. This movie isn't necessarily about winning, though they do that too. It's more, though, about bonding over cafeteria food, humiliating your rival camp, and finding your place in the world, even if that place is inside of a cabin full of snorers. Directed by Ivan Reitman, this scrappy Canadian production kicked off a whole wave of summer camp flicks in the 80s, and Bill Murray, he was practically making up his lines on the spot. That weird, semi-philosophical, it just doesn't matter chant, iconic. The low budget and high sincerity energy in this one just radiates like June sun off of a canoe paddle. It's campy in the best way. It's goofy but heartfelt. It's filled with pranks and awkward dances and spontaneous life lessons. I think Meatballs is the sticky-fingered, Kool-Aid stained spirit of summer in cinematic form. If you ever went to camp or just wish you had, this one just feels like a warm bug spray scented hug from the past. Meatballs isn't just summer, it's what summer felt like when you were 12 and everything smelled like lake water and burnt marshmallows. Thrashin from 1986 stars Josh Brolin as a young skater who shreds the streets of LA in a Romeo meets Ramp skate drama featuring wild stunts, wilder clothes, and a massacre of a finale. This is the skateboard West Side Story meets Romeo and Juliet coming-of-age summer saga that you never knew you needed. In Thrashin', Josh Brolin plays Corey Webster. He's a skater with big dreams, a Walkman, and an unshakable devotion to downhill skating. The story is set in the sun-drenched valley of Los Angeles. It's a tale of turf wars between the Daggers, the ultra-punk skate rebels, and the ramp-riding valley locals. And somewhere in there, Corey falls for the wrong girl who just so happens to be the Dagger leader's sister. Obviously, of course. I mean, this movie is just a pure 80s time capsule. You got neon tank tops, toe guards on boards, level 1 graffiti everywhere, and a Red Hot Chili Peppers performance thrown in because why not? And while the acting is a little bit rougher than a sidewalk faceplant, Thrashin' shreds where it counts. In pure sun-baked attitude, Tony Hawk and many other real-life legends pop up throughout this one, giving it a skate cred that just balances all the cheesy dialogue. And as far as summer movies go, it's just got that relentless teen energy, endless daylight, and just a pavement-scarred rebellion that just defines youth under the sun. It totally captures that reckless energy of summer break when all you needed was a board, a boombox, and maybe a 20 in your pocket. It may be more rad than refined, but Thrashin' is 100% the kind of VHS rental that just made a summer weekend legendary. White Men Can't Jump from 1992 stars Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes as basketball hustlers attempting to conquer the blacktop in sun-baked Venice Beach in a trash-talking, hoop-shooting buddy comedy that never goes out of style. Now, Venice Beach never saw the level of trash talk or hustling as it did in White Men Can't Jump. This summer basketball comedy mixes streetball smack talk with surprisingly effective emotional depth. Wesley Snipes is Sidney Dean, he's all flair and fire, and Woody Harrelson is Billy Hoyle, the low-key trash-talking white guy who fools everybody until he gets on the court and starts draining jumpers and zip-lining behind the back passes on a dime. Their chemistry is electric, like sneakers on blacktop in August. The film's fast, it's funny, it's surprisingly poignant, especially when Billy's just compulsive need to prove himself right just keeps blowing up in his face time and time again. And then there's Rosie Perez dropping Jeopardy trivia and just pure sass as Gloria, the girlfriend who sees life beyond the game. This one's directed by Ron Shelton. It's just peak early 90s cool. Trash talk is poetry. Tank tops are personality, and just basketball is a metaphor for life. I think the playground scenes are kinetic. They're fundamentally legit and just full of style, in my opinion. That's one of the best parts of this movie, and it just feels like a sweaty summer afternoon. Shirts off and egos clashing like thunder. You can almost smell the coconut sunscreen and hear the boombox playing Too Short. White Men Can't Jump is about friendship. It's about failure and finding your shot on the court and in life, because sometimes when you win, you really lose, and sometimes when you lose, you really win, and sometimes when you win or lose, you actually tie, and sometimes when you tie, you actually win or lose. North Shore from 1987 stars Matt Adler as a young Arizona surfer who hits the big leagues in Hawaii and learns that heart, not hype, rides the biggest waves in this coming-of-age summer saga. What do you get when an Arizona boy who surfs in a wave tank shows up in Hawaii thinking he's the next Kelly Slater? Now you get North Shore, a 1987 cult gem that is just pure summer fantasy. You get awkward white dude meets wise surf local, gets humbled, learns to respect the ocean, makes out with Nia Peoples, and earns his stripes in the water. Matt Adler plays Rick Kane, but I mean, the real star is the Hawaiian surf scene itself, shot in all of its golden hour glory with actual surf legends like Laird Hamilton stealing every scene. I mean, this movie's structure is predictable as a tide chart: arrogance, failure, summer love, spiritual awakening, but somehow it works. There's a Zen surf philosopher mentor named Chandler who speaks in riddles like a beachside yoga, a charming scene-stealing turtle as well, and plenty of surf footage that just makes you want to quit your job and live in a van near the beach. It's cheesy in places without question, but North Shore just nails that fish out of water, salt in your hair, summer romance energy. It's not just a summer movie, it's a summer daydream with a TNC Surf Designs themed soundtrack and just puka shells for days. North Shore is a love letter to surfing, summer, and getting schooled by the sea, and getting to make out with Nia Peoples. Point Break from 1991 follows Keanu Reeves as he goes full undercover surf bro, while Patrick Swayze redefines beachside spirituality and extreme bank robbery in a movie that just oozes summer charm from start to finish. Surfs up, banks down. Point Break is the summer action flick that dared to ask, what if a group of Zen surfers rob banks in between catching waves and partying out on the beach? Keanu Reeves is Johnny Utah, FBI agent, former quarterback, and full-time heartthrob, sent in to infiltrate a gang of extreme sports criminals. Patrick Swayze plays Bodie, a beach philosopher thief who believes riding a 50-year storm is the ultimate spiritual happy ending. I think Catherine Bigelow just directs with audaciousness here. The film blends sun-drenched surf culture with pure adrenaline, from skydives to shootouts. It's really ridiculous in all the best ways possible. I mean, each scene is more intense and quotable than the last. I mean, Bodie is literally a suntanned quote dispenser in this movie, and what really makes Point Break peak summer isn't just the action, it's just the way it romanticizes freedom, the outdoors, brotherhood, and just the pull of the ocean. It's sweaty, it's sandy, it's soaked in the sun with a philosophy degree tucked in its board shorts. This movie just understands summer not as a season, but as a feeling, a freedom, a risk, just chasing something bigger than yourself, even if it ends in a wipeout. And by the end, you'll either want to learn to surf or want to rob a bank, or both. Vaya con Dios indeed. Side Out from 1990 stars C. Thomas Howell as a young guy who trades courtroom drama for beach volleyball glory in a flick where tank tops, tans, and Tom Cruise energy collide under the SoCal sun. Beach volleyball has never looked so dramatically fulfilling as it does in Side Out, starring C. Thomas Howell as a law student who accidentally stumbles into the world of sunburns, spikes, and sandy redemption. He gets mentored by a washed-up pro played by Peter Horton, and together they're going to have to team up and beat the villainous duo named, wait for it, Billy Cross and Rolo Vincent. It's gloriously absurd. It's set out on the sunny shores of Southern California. It's like a homage to high fives, mirrored shades, and sun-soaked melodrama. It's far from Shakespeare, but it does deliver where it counts, with endless sandy courts, beautiful women, soaring serves, and montage after montage. The acting's passable, the story is predictable, and yet it manages to gel, mainly because I think this movie is just unapologetically a summer sports flick. The volleyball action is surprisingly solid, the soundtrack is cheesy perfection, and the sun-kissed aesthetic is really just unbeatable. I mean, think Karate Kid meets Cocktail at the beach, and you're not too far off. Side Out doesn't try to be deep. It's all about spikes and second chances and spray-on tans. It may not be a cinematic masterpiece, but in the summer movie arena, it really earns its place with sand between its toes. Side Out is summer sports wish fulfillment at its finest. You may not remember the dialogue, but you're definitely going to remember the energy, the tank tops, and just the buffet of tanned buns. The Great Outdoors from 1988 features John Candy and Dan Aykroyd as they face off in a battle of bugs, bears, bats, and boatloads of family awkwardness at a lakeside cabin. Take one John Candy, add one Dan Aykroyd, stir in a few raccoons, a man-eating steak, and one angry bear, and you've got the Great Outdoors. Cinematic summer vacation mayhem as only the 80s could deliver it. John Candy plays Chet, a family man just trying to enjoy a quiet, peaceful vacation getaway at a lakeside cabin with his family, but Dan Aykroyd shows up as his obnoxiously rich brother-in-law and chaos ensues, from raccoons in the trash to water skiing disasters to a giant steak challenge that would haunt any coal, and it never really ends. Written by John Hughes, this movie blends slapstick with surprisingly sweet moments about family and summer and frustration. I mean, the wooden settings here just kind of feel like summer camp for grown-ups, with mosquito bites and campfires and forced bonding all included. I think Candy's charm in this movie is off the charts, and Aykroyd's oily charisma adds the perfect counter to that. It's a classic mix of slapstick and sincerity, with plenty of moments that just make you nostalgic for campfires and early morning roundups for fishing trips. It's not just a vacation, it's a reminder of every trip where plans went wrong, but memories were made. If your summer has ever included bug spray or bad burgers or a family member who won't stop bragging, this movie's going to hit you like a cannonball into a cold lake. The Great Outdoors is your best, worst summer trip, disastrous at the time and hilarious in hindsight. The Endless Summer from 1966 is an iconic surf documentary that turns chasing the perfect wave into a global, golden-hued meditation of sun, stoke, and saltwater dreams in what I consider to be the ultimate surfing movie. Before GoPros, vlogging, and Instagram surf clips, there was The Endless Summer. This 1966 documentary follows two surfers as they chase summer around the globe, searching for the perfect wave. This film's narration is half travelogue, half surf poem, and the cinematography captures beaches so pristine they just look like postcards from a lost era. It's really low-key hypnotic, with shots of glassy waves and sunburned smiles that just make you want to quit everything and find your own hidden beach, if they even exist anymore. But other than that, what makes this movie special isn't just its pioneering surf footage, it's its ethos. Summer isn't just a season, it's a mindset. It's about freedom and adventure and living by the rhythm of the tides. It's sun, sea, and soul, not about showing off. It's about the joy of movement, the peace of the perfect break, and the dream of chasing summer forever. To me, The Endless Summer is pure escapism, wrapped in a salt ocean spray and just set to mellow guitar chords. The Endless Summer is really, it's a tone piece, it's a time capsule, it's a cinematic vacation that turns watching waves into just a spiritual experience. And for anyone who's just ever dreamed of chasing sunsets or living barefoot near the shore, this is your manifesto. National Lampoon's Vacation from 1983 stars Chevy Chase as the Griswold patriarch who takes his family on the road trip from hell to reach Wally World, and summer has never looked more gloriously dysfunctional. If summer is all about road trips, then Vacation is the holy grail of vehicular cross-country chaos. National Lampoon's Vacation is a comedy road trip disaster of hilarious proportions, wrapped in a pure 80s summer package. Chevy Chase and his most iconic character is Clark Griswold, the well-meaning but chronically clueless dad, determined to give his family the perfect vacation even if it kills them all, and along the way they will cross dead family members, endless wrong turns, near accidents, moose-themed heartbreak, possible robbery, a Grand Canyon visit so short it's basically a drive-by, and one poor lost dog. Written by John Hughes and directed by Harold Ramis, this movie, I think, just effectively taps into every chaotic family trip ever taken, dialed up to 13. Chase's manic optimism is hilarious, Beverly D'Angelo's patience is grounding, and greasy cousin Eddie just tops everything off, making for just an endlessly quotable and endlessly rewatchable just adventure of summer madness. The laughs are big, the hijinks are bigger, and the station wagon, it's iconic. If summer means packing the car, arguing about directions, and wondering if the destination is worth the journey, then this is your spirit film. Vacation reminds us that summer isn't about perfection, it's just about trying, failing, and laughing all the way to the gift shop or to the pawn shop to get a BB gun. Jaws from 1975 is the summer blockbuster of summer blockbusters that made us all scared of going in the water, as Spielberg's Shark Tale would redefine terror, tension, and 4th of July cinema forever. The ultimate beach thriller that made an entire generation, and then a generation after that, and the generation after that, afraid to dip their toes in the water. Jaws isn't just a summer movie, it is summer movie history. Spielberg's breakout hit turns a small, sleepy seaside town into a battleground between man and nature, where a great white shark is snacking on tourists while local officials are worried more about media coverage and profit margins. Roy Scheider, Richard Dreyfuss, and Robert Shaw anchor this movie perfectly, bringing performances as memorable as this film's theme song. And that theme song, legendary. It's 2 notes, you get eternal dread, and it's timeless. Released in June of 1975, Jaws became the first true summer blockbuster, redefining the season and the business of Hollywood. But beyond the scares, it just captures summer at its core, with hot sand, kids playing, small town vibes, and just that lurking fear that something might be out there in the water waiting for you. It's equal parts creature feature and master of suspense, and Jaws remains that high water mark for summer cinema, and it just really defined what summer movies could be. They could be big, they could be bold, and they certainly could be unforgettable. And that wraps up this video, guys. From surfing legends and slam dunks to family road trip disasters and man-eating sharks, these films didn't just capture summer, they redefined it. Whether you grew up with wet sneakers and sunburns or just love the sound of waves and Dolby stereo, these peak summer movies will live rent-free in our pop culture beach houses. So the next time you're chasing a nostalgic summer-themed escape, skip the sunscreen, rewind that VHS, press play, and relive some of the greatest summer movies of all time, because these films bring the heat, they bring the laughs, and they bring the heart of summer right into your living room.
This is Jack Burton in the Pork Chop Express, and I'm talking to whoever's listening out there.
Survive a war, you gotta become war.
I suppose we have to register you as a lethal weapon.
You trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?